Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Batman The Dark Knight Trilogy 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Now today we are going to be taking a look at none other than the Dark Knight himself, Batman from Batman Begins. Now I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. As for the box art, I really like this. The color grading kind of matches the color scheme of the movie with this orange sepia effect. Front and center, Batman cape spread, gliding over the streets of Gotham. In the background, the city skyline and a ton of swirling bats. Plus, the entire thing is done in a metallic finish, very eye-catching. Now, down below, for some reason it says The Dark Knight Trilogy. Now, I know Batman Begins is part of the trilogy, but this suit and the accessories are very Batman Begins specific, so I would have preferred the correct logo. On the side of the box, The Dark Knight Trilogy once again. On the back, all of the warnings and legal info. Now, if we slide off the top cover, we are treated to a sneak preview, but as you all know, we're never here for sneak previews, we're here to review this figure. Now, some people, they presume to know what I was going to say about this guy before I even shot this video. They said, "Oh, Justin, he's going to make excuses, he's going to sugarcoat it." Actually, no. I'm always honest to my own opinion, and I expect to do the exact same in this video. First in-hand impressions, they're just okay. What we are going to do now, though, is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first, it's fine. It kind of looks like one of those third-party bases you pick up on eBay when the stock ones aren't good enough, but I don't think it's good enough for Hot Toys. We do have a Batman Begins logo and a Cowl silhouette on either side of the base in high gloss. The bats in the background, they're a matte finish. We also have Batman Begins, then up front, Batman once again, and a bunch more bats. So there's a lot going on. It almost, to me at least, looks a little bit gaudy. Up top, we have a regular crotch grabber. We will discuss the cowl in a lot more detail on the body, but just know I already don't like it. It's the same cowl that we've seen over and over and over again, but the paint applications, they're slightly different. For some reason, with this new version, he's a lot more tan. The Toy Fair exclusive on the left had, in my opinion, a more natural skin tone. Just ignore the cape clips, I glued those there, but everything else is pretty much identical down to the sculpt and the goofy eyes. I may sound like I'm being overly harsh, and I don't mean to. I was just expecting a lot from this guy, and I can't help but feel a little disappointed. Something I do like, though, is the Bruce Wayne sculpt. It's reused from DX19, and we'll discuss the merits of that a little bit later, but there's no denying it looks like Christian Bale. The skin texture is well painted, and the hair is very full. Which means, compared to the Toy Fair version, it looks very, very different. Also, the new one is a fixed neck, whereas the Toy Fair one had an articulated neck, so more range of motion with the original. But overall, if I had to pick a winner between these two, I'd be leaning towards the new one. A carryover from that Toy Fair exclusive is the First Night Out look. Now, two of these three pieces are actually functional. The one that isn't is the balaclava. It looks goofy as hell. The eye holes are tiny, the mouth is also tiny, and it's not stretchy. Meaning when you try and slide it over that sculpt with its voluminous locks, it's not possible. The instructions quite literally make no mention of the balaclava whatsoever. For me, I dig that head sculpt, so I'm perfectly fine displaying it and having him hold this mask, as much of a cop-out as that is. He does come with a clean version of the belt without the various pouches and canisters, and it's lined with some foam padding, so fingers crossed it won't damage the suit. It's a little bit darker than the DX19 version and slightly metallic. Then we get the harness, of course we do, it's part of the look. All of these straps are real functional and movable, so you can adjust them as you choose. And the clips, they work as well. This is just regular black fabric strapping, and the harness pieces, they're plastic. I was hoping they were metal like previous versions and the quarter scale one, but here, they've just stuck with plastic. When it comes to smaller accessories, we get 3 of them. One in the form of an activated mine with some silver spikies, and 2 batarangs, one of which is stored in that belt. Now the batarangs, they're made of plastic too. I know, I shouldn't be complaining about material choices, but a little bit of die-cast goes a long way. It helps something feel that touch more premium. His other belt has so much more to look at. There's the batarang holder that, yes, is functional. You can remove the batarang or stack 2 on there. You've got some cylinders, and even his cell phone, it's all really nicely painted. But if you're wondering, hang on, wait a second, isn't there supposed to be something back here? Yeah, there is. In the movie, that's where he stored his grappling gun. In 1/6 scale, apparently Hot Toys thought, no, doesn't need to come with one, because he doesn't have one. Why on earth did Hot Toys decide to leave out this very key and very important accessory? I have no idea. Maybe they were being lazy, or being cheap, or being a little bit naive, thinking people don't care about the grappling gun, but we do. He uses it a ton in the movie. Oh, by all means, I have more thoughts on that. I'll let you know how I feel a little bit later. He does come with a few hands, but they're glossy. Just like the suit, they shouldn't be. They're supposed to be a matte finish. He does have some sculpted detail on the palms with the dots, because these are those electromagnetic gloves that activate the cape, but overall, reused hands and the wrong finish, not quite good enough. What we are going to do now, though, is get the Dark Knight himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. I'm a Batman Begins fanboy. I love this suit. It's one of my favorite bat suits of all time. So when Hot Toys announced this guy, I was cautiously optimistic. I thought, okay, it's the 4th time they're doing this, the quarter scale was good, surely this guy can't be terrible. Well, Hot Toys, y'all kinda shat the bed, and I think you know you did. This figure is far from perfect. Now, he comes with a very decent Bruce Wayne head sculpt, but everything else, it needs work. The suit is shiny where it really shouldn't be, the cape is straight up trash, and the cowl, it was terrible back in the day, and it still is. The only thing that might potentially save this guy is the body. It's taller, it's much more proportionate, so with a new cowl and a new cape, maybe this can work. Up close and personal, kicking things off with the cowl first. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the 3rd or 4th time they've used this cowl. I can't for the life of me figure out why, because it is terrible. It's very long, which throws off the proportions, the neck is kinda narrow, and I don't think it's accurate to the movie. It does have a decent side profile and the point along the back, but those things, at least in my opinion, they're not enough to save this cowl. And then we have the swappable mouth plates. The standard one is just okay, but this one is my favorite. It's the one that they used in all the promo pics, and it is goofy as hell. I don't know why they didn't just shrink down the quarter scale cowl, because that one is a darn sight better than this one. Speaking of better cowls though, I have a custom one, and there's a YouTube Shorts review coming up on the channel very soon for it. It's the V1 OT Customs cowl. I have popped the link to his Insta down below, but this cowl is gorgeous. It also has swappable mouth plates, it's a lot thicker and bulkier, and look at that, the cape clips, they're in the right position. Don't worry, of course, I'll be popping this cowl on this body later on. Alrighty, it's cape time. Now, this cape is also, spoiler alert, terrible. It's a 2-ply fabric, there's this kind of satin finish on the inside and this more textured fabric on the outside. I understand what they were going for. They were kind of going for that flocked parachute style material, but it's not dark enough and there's not enough texture. It almost looks like a textured denim, just in black. Also, there's not enough cape. It's supposed to be able to come around and kind of shroud him in darkness, but there's not enough to do that. It really wants to fight you, and it buckles and it bunches. There is a wire, but As soon as this video is finished, I'm gonna find a custom cape and hopefully it'll be a huge upgrade to this guy. You may be thinking, Justin, you're ranting a lot, and yes, I am. I love Batman Begins, just like Dean Knight. It's one of my favorite Batman movies ever. So, seeing as though I do have a lot of love for this suit, I was hoping for a really good figure. But even though we're early on in the video, I can already tell you that's not necessarily what we have here. Now, the bodysuit is well sculpted. Once again, I dig the proportions. He's big and bulky and muscular where he needs to be, but why is it so glossy? For some reason, it's got this sheen to it where it really shouldn't. It's supposed to be a matte finish. The Toy Fair exclusive version, it did this a whole lot better. The gauntlets are supposed to be a different sheen to the suit, but as it stands, they're actually matter than the suit itself. Now, I do dig the wrinkles sculpted in to the elbow area, so when you have them bent it looks a little bit more natural, but seeing as though this is a rubber suit, there is a lot of buckling. So when it comes to posing, just expect that. You do also have different belts, one with all of the compartments and pouches. Dean Knight did say that it's a little bit too light for Batman Begins, but I don't know, mine's a little bit more bronzy and darker, so for me, I actually like the belt. Coming down to the legs, they are nice and smooth, but still way too shiny. The knee pads are separate floating pieces. Fingers crossed they don't detach over time. Then the boots, they're a split-cut boot design. You all know I love split-cut boot designs. There's some texture on the side, some wrinkles sculpted in around the front, and there's a fairly decent range of motion. On the underside, you've got some tread, and oh, look at that, it's the missing Bat Summoner. For some reason, they chose to permanently sculpt it to the boot, rather than making it removable. But, of course, this guy, oh my god, that mouthplate, he has a second display option for the first night out. You know what? If this guy had one saving grace, it might just be this look. Normally, I'm a huge advocate for capes and cowls on my Batman figures, but only when that looks good. With this guy, that combo, it doesn't work. Whereas this one does. His head sculpt is now correctly scaled to the body. Everything looks in proportion, at least to my eye. His harness is adjustable. All the straps and buckles, they're functional. You can also slide it over his traps to hide the ugly peg holes for the cape clips. Now, I do like the fact that the collar is sculpted to reveal some of his neck around the front. It's not just a ugly straight cut across. That kind of leads me to believe that this suit was always designed with this look in mind. Unfortunately though, where that kind of falls apart is the symbol. Now, in the movie, he added the symbol after the first night out. When he looked like this, it wasn't there. Could they have done a swap-out chest plate like Mafex? Yeah, maybe, but seeing the suit is made of rubber, I don't know that that was all that possible. So I can forgive the symbol where everything else looks pretty good, except for the sheen and of course the cape and cowl. But for those wondering what he looks like with some custom upgrades, can we save this figure? Well, yeah, I think we can. With the custom cowl by OT Customs, please make sure you check out the shorts review when it's live on the channel, cause it's a massive upgrade. It's a lot thicker, the likeness is improved, it now fits the body, everything is properly in proportion. As compared to the Hot Toys cowl, yeah, it's night and day. Plus, with the custom cape made of black velvet, the contrast is back. Now, it doesn't really do much to solve the shiny suit issue, but I don't know about y'all, I'm now starting to like this figure with the custom pieces a whole lot more. We do have to move on, I'm aware, but part of me doesn't want to. I want to keep shooting this cowl. Now, it does have swappable mouth plates, just like the stock one, although way less goofy. The likeness is so much better, and his eye color is correct. But I know, I have to pop the stock one back on as much as I don't want to, so I can properly finish this review. Wait a second, why are we still here? We're supposed to move on. Oh well, we may as well check out the third mouthplate option. This one looks also just like Christian Bale, the likeness is 100%. There's a subtle upturn to the sides of his mouth, and that helps sell the likeness. Now, I will be picking up the V2 cowl when that's eventually available, also from OT Customs, because It's gonna have moving eyes, and you all know one of my favorite features with head sculpts is moving eyes. For a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have the new Batman Begins figure with the stock cape and stock cowl, as much as it pained me to do that, and on the right, the Toy Fair exclusive. Now, the Toy Fair one does have a custom cape, but everything else is stock. Now, there are certain things the new one does better, such as the proportions and size of the body. He is taller. Whereas there are other things that the old one does better, such as the color of the belt, it's darker and more accurate, and the suit is a matte finish. Either one of these though, depending on which one you go with a custom cowl and custom cape, they'll both look a lot better. I mean, this just hammers the point home. How do we go from a masterpiece like the DX19 on the right to the Batman Begins figure? It's night and day. The DX19 literally looks like a real person, whereas Batman Begins couldn't be further from it. His cape is a lot chonkier than what we got with DX19, but they could have very easily used the same material as DX19. Now, OT Customs also makes a proper screen-accurate cowl for the Dark Knight suit, so I'll be reviewing that as well. This is a first for me. I've never done anything like this before, but this is an all-new segment called the Inaccuracy segment. Now, the first inaccuracy is the cowl. The shape is terrible, it looks straight up nasty, the neck is far too long, it's not chonky enough, and the likeness is just okay. The second inaccuracy is the suit. It's far too shiny. Now, some people have dulled it down with isopropyl alcohol. I don't intend to do that. I'm one of those people who think it should pretty much come perfect and screen accurate out of the box. The third inaccuracy are the cape clips, the position, and the attachment method. It's all over the place. They should be around the front near the points of the bat symbol. Thank you, Dean Knight, for pointing that out. I'm not entirely sure why they keep getting this wrong, but they do. The next inaccuracy, in fact, no, it's a straight up crime, is the cape. It's not long enough so it can't come around the front and shroud Batman in shadow like it does in the movie, plus it's not dark enough. There should be a very clear color difference between the bodysuit and the cape. This should be a charcoal grey where this should be jet black, but unfortunately, they're very close in color. The final inaccuracy for now, I'm sure there's more, let me know if you spot different ones down below, but it's the gauntlets. They should be a little bit shinier than the suit and shinier than the gloves, but once again, it all just blends in. Going over articulation, do bear in mind this is my personal copy, so I'm going to be a touch more careful. Starting off with the cowl, it's a fixed hunk of plastic with a double ball peg up underneath. Looking forward, pretty much not at all. Same thing going back. You do get a little bit of swivel, but pretty much no pivot. The arms will go up to there and spring back down thanks to the rubbery suit. Going forward to there, you do have a butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. There is a swivel at the bicep underneath the rubber suit, double bend at the elbow, unfortunately no ratchets, plus a regular 1/6 scale wrist peg. The torso does crunch forward and back, looking very unsightly, swivel and pivot. The legs will go forward on ratchets to there, they will go out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knees, also on ratchets, and lastly, a double ball peg with a split cut boot design for the ankle. Moving on to the 3 cool and 3 annoying things. The first annoying thing is, why is there no grappling gun here? This was a big part of the movie, he got it from Lucius Fox, and he doesn't come with one. The second annoying thing is the body. The proportions, not factoring in the cowl, are good. It looks like a dude in a suit, but why are there no ratchets? This is a thick rubbery suit, and as we know, friction joints, they wear down over time. For now, he can hold a pose, but how long is that going to last? I don't know. Oh my word, the third annoying thing is this. I don't think I need to elaborate on this one. The first cool thing is the Bruce Wayne head sculpt. Now, some people have said, and rightly so, that there should be a clear difference between a Batman Begins Bruce Wayne and a Dark Knight version. But don't forget, he was wearing the Begin suit at the start of the Dark Knight, so technically there was some crossover. So for me, even though I would have liked a brand new sculpt for Begins, this I can forgive. I'm really trying to find some positives here, but the second cool thing has to be the proportions. While I don't like how the body works in terms of the lack of ratchet joints, the proportions are good. The third cool thing, and yeah, I did have to go to this level just to find one more cool thing, but it's the split cut boot design. That means that you can get maximum range of motion and you're not fighting any rubber. With the old school Toy Fair exclusive one, they were rubber and they were a chore to work with. Wrapping up on the new but not at all improved Batman Begins figure. Going into this, I want to say I was excited, but I don't know, I feel so deflated. It's not often we get such a miss by Hot Toys, but they let us down. Fans of Batman Begins do not get this. It's not often I'll say that, but I'm gonna say it here. His suit is shiny where it's not supposed to be. I had to add an entirely new segment called the Inaccuracy segment because there are so many. The cowl just doesn't work for me. The cape is a nightmare to work with. Plus, they didn't use ratchet joints on the new body. You went to the effort of giving us this new taller body with good proportions, but who knows how long the posing is going to last. The suit is rubber. Ratchet joints 100% should have been the way to go. So at the end of the video, do I think this guy's a must-have? Like I just said, no, I don't. I'm hoping we get a proper new and improved Batman Begins figure one day, maybe a DX with moving eyes, a new cowl, a proper matte finish suit, but for now, this ain't it. Now, I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.